Hi Gemini, how's it going? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first two cards that we have out are Six of Wands and Four of Wands. I'm also seeing the Devil, Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords. Having Six of Wands and Four of Wands feels like something that is coming together. The first thing that came to mind when I saw these energies feels like something happy that's going on, or something exciting that's going on, or something where there's a victory or a success that's involved. This feels like a good outcome, something like this. When I say good, I mean a desirable outcome. So it can be something happening in a way that you wanted it to, or something really coming together here. Six of Wands generally indicates that there was effort that needed to be put in. You're going to be seeing this as a win for you. Four of Wands can then be like the celebration of that. So it's not only just getting the win, but then also there being like a celebration that is connected with that as well. So I'm seeing that little thing that's going on there. Then we also have the Devil and the Ace of Cups, which seems kind of like something else that's going on. And then we also have the Ace of Swords. I want to get a couple more cards out before we talk about this though. I'm seeing some difficult situation that you've been moving through. Five of Pentacles can be being in a situation where you're like, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure this out. It's like a challenging circumstance that you find yourself in, where generally I see this as something that's going on in the external world is proving to be challenging. So Pentacles can be connected with your health, your physical body. It can be connected with your resources, so finances, or it can be with your time. It can be with your energy. Having Five of Pentacles go into the Chariot shows that there's a big obstacle that you have been working with here, maybe many obstacles, or just a situation that feels increasingly challenging. But then having the Chariot shows you actually taking this on and succeeding in the way that you move through it. And so you can even feel like the cards were sort of stacked against you. Nonetheless, you now have this outcome based on the effort that you put in, where you've succeeded, and it has not been easy, and that very much being recognized here. So you can feel like you took something, almost, this feels very much like against all odds. You took something and it is now working the way that it is supposed to. Something is successful. And you can feel that you are sort of reveling in that with Four of Wands in the Chariot. Feels too like working out how to move things around so that it works the way that it's meant to work. Okay, let's talk about the Devil in this scenario. For the context that I'm seeing, it feels like the Devil is connected with doing too much of something. The Devil can wear many different hats when we talk about it in a reading. I'm seeing the Devil be connected with Ace of Cups. So this can be stuff that you can sort of obligate yourself to be doing where it doesn't allow you to fully connect, and you can be recognizing that maybe you want a deeper sense of connection. Maybe there's something within you that you're trying to like restore a connection with yourself. It can also be with those around you, or it can be with something in particular. Like maybe it has to do with an activity that you like or something. So I'm seeing the Devil and I'm seeing Ace of Pentacles here. And this feels like something is coming through and attempting to sort of get you on board with it. But I see this as being something that wouldn't allow you to relax or wouldn't allow you to rest when you need to. And this can be the difference between like overworking and doing too much with the Devil, where it's like grinding constantly. And then on the other side of this will be the recovery of it. Like maybe something is like really intense and needs a lot of your energy, and then also having to take breaks from that. Whatever this is, the Devil is feeling like overdrive to me, especially having it be connected with the Ace of Pentacles. And this Ace of Pentacles looks like a person sort of offering something to someone. And so that it feels like a mentality of the Devil is like work, 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 work. Like it's feeling very much like the shadow side of Capricorn that feels like not taking a break, pushing through things when you actually need to be taking a step back, or when you need time to yourself, when you need to recover. So whatever this is that's been going on, it feels like it may have like pushed you into some type of extreme, or that's like where you took this, where you went with this. And for some of you too, you can have something coming in that would be potentially influencing that to be happening. But I'm also seeing Ace of Cups and I'm seeing Four of Swords. So I feel like you're actually taking a break from this. Maybe it's something that when you get involved in it, you may have a hard time moderating it. Meaning, if you have like a certain amount of energy that you can use, whatever this is, you may get in there and then surpass that. Where it feels like there's not a boundary always with this. It's something that you can feel like you get in there and then get in the middle of it, and then things sort of go out the window. It feels like it becomes... Like, let's say you intend to show up somewhere and give an hour of your energy. It feels like when the Devil is involved, it ends up being like 3 hours. And then you finally separate and you're like, how did that happen? Like, I told myself that I was setting the boundary to only do it for an hour. And then you find that it's just hard to moderate that thing. So I do feel like this chapter is about, when we have the Devil, it's those energies that are most difficult to sort of remain in control when we're in those situations. So something can be taking us very much overboard. The Devil is always, for each of us, a very strong energy where it takes like all of your mindfulness and discipline to keep things in line in the way that you want to. And this can even be something that comes through and influences you in a way where it's like, don't you need this? Don't you need this? Like, you might as well push yourself to your limit here. But what I'm also seeing with Ace of Cups and Four of Swords, this feels like a time when what you can really be wanting is to connect, is to nurture your relationship to things where you can feel like you're in touch in a way that you want to be. And there can be self-care that's involved in this. There can be connecting with people that you love that is connected with this. This even feels like getting a break from something that becomes very intense, and you, again, like may have a hard time sort of putting a cap on it. Like it kind of just grows out of control a bit. But from what I'm seeing, this does look like you're getting a break from that. And in this break that you're having, two things. While you're like having a break, it looks like something may come through and try to like pull you back in. So that may happen like while you're in the middle of that. Like this is reminding me of, like, let's say that you are working constantly and maybe there's like some event that you want to go to where it's just supposed to be something that's fun, or maybe you've like taken the day off. Okay, it's something that's going to pull you away from whatever this is with the Devil and the Ace of Pentacles. It feels like while you have set time aside to be doing that, this thing may come through and like knock on your door and say, hey, what are you doing taking a break here? What do you mean you need a day to yourself? And try to like pull you back on board. So that is something that can potentially come up. But it does feel like because this energy requires so much energy, you also are going to have to balance it on the other side of things. So if something diminishes your energy because of all the energy that you give it, you have to then restore the energy. And so you can feel like you hop back and forth into extremes, like maybe like intense super productivity and then needing like intense rest as well. Because the Devil is feeling like the extreme of output and involvement and activity. And then on the other side of it is going to be the resting, the turning off, the nighttime, the unplugging. So this new chapter that's starting, I wonder if it's like you're just in a situation that can feel like it pushes you to your limits in ways, and that you have to find the balance in a very difficult situation to balance things. The beauty, we have Capricorn here. The beauty of Capricorn is that it's like really able to get the job done. Like you can rely on the energy of Capricorn to do something and to do it well. The shadow side of Capricorn can be, I'm getting signals that I need a break or I need to stop or I'm beyond my limits and I'm ignoring that and I'm pushing through. So like it has that ability, the energy of Capricorn, which we all have, has the ability to push through. And sometimes that's a wonderful thing when we really are trying to get something done. And at other times, especially when we're doing that all the time, it can really become depleting energetically for us. And the Devil kind of feels to me like a situation where it just is some type of intense environment. So you may like know that going into it, like, I think this requires a really ridiculous amount of energy from me. At the same time, it almost feels like it's doable for you to be able to participate in this as long as you were anchoring with the opposite end of things. So when there's that mass exertion of energy, you have to anchor it with the mass resting so your energy can be restored. And that is the only way to have this be sustainable. Otherwise, there are going to be a lot of problems that pop up. The way that I'm seeing this too is that this looks like a like somewhat new thing that you're stepping into. Where it may really have you go into both of those extremes, and that can just be like the season for you here with this. Because we have Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups here connected with this, this does kind of feel like a new chapter that's starting for you, where both of these things are going to be happening. So it can be like a lot of work that needs to be put in, and then again, like a lot of recovering from that energy, restoring your energy. A lot of building that's happening. And so with the Devil, I kind of feel like you can actually build very quickly too. And then with that Ace of Cups, it feels like making sure that you are separating and taking the time that you need for yourself to connect. And Ace of Pentacles and Devil feels like work, obligation, getting stuff done, effectiveness. And then with Ace of Cups and the Four of Swords feels like resting, recovering, connecting, stuff that allows you to breathe, finding a connection with things that feel inspiring to you, which you're going to also be using. So it's kind of like filling up the reservoir so that when you need to be utilizing it again, it has something there for you to utilize. Maybe also too, for some of you, you felt like this was the only way that you could get through what you were going through with the Five of Pentacles. Because Five of Pentacles can really put us in situations at times where we feel like we really have to apply ourselves as much as possible to be able to figure something out. Like, it really does take a lot of energy to move through a situation like that. Wow. So this is something very major that's being accomplished. We also have 3 aces here. We have Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and Ace of Swords. In a way, having Devil and 4 of Swords kind of feels to me like you are signing on for something that you're going into knowing that it's kind of extreme, but at the same time saying, like, if I'm gonna do that, I have to find a way to make this sustainable. And so that's also what part of this discovery is about. It's not just like, how far can I push myself? It's also like, how do I effectively recover my energy and not get burnt out? How do I keep things so that they are functioning harmoniously? And I really do feel like you have discovered something important here about the balance of these energies. This feels like I can go into some very challenging territory and still not have things go overboard. I can still keep the balance. And that's what's being connected with. And maybe that wasn't the case before, but it feels like this is like you've been learning how to do this now. Like, even though you can be in a situation that can be extremely challenging to keep the balance in, like maybe one of the most challenging scenarios to try to keep the balance in, that you are figuring out how to do that effectively. And seeing like what this is all about too for you. So it feels like not getting lost in that, and that there is a balance to it, and you're learning how to anchor. And you can be learning how to anchor by using the polarities of the energy. When you feel like the energy is going very far in one direction, knowing how to anchor it in the opposite direction. And that it does keep the balance of things. It may be extreme, but it does keep the balance of things. And so it allows things to function and continue to function too. I feel too like whenever you separate from whatever it is with the devil, which can sort of like create a bit of a mental frenzy where you may not feel like you're always thinking the most clearly, because it's something that like becomes very involved. We can kind of lose ourselves within that process. When you take the break from it, like when you pull back, when you're able to separate, having Ace of Swords here feels like the clarity comes in the rest, in the silence, in the stillness, in the pause, and that feeling important because of what's realized, because of what's understood. I'm seeing Cancer and I'm seeing Capricorn in the reading, which is interesting because Cancer and Capricorn are opposite signs from one another. They like oppose one another in the birth chart. And so this, I feel like it just sort of reinforces this message of like the extremes and the polarities, because we can see, like, if we think about the 4th house, if you think about Cancer, this is like in your private life, at home. 4th house is connected with like resting and whatnot, and not being out busy in the world. But that energy of Capricorn can be like work and obligations and the stuff that you have to do and what you're sort of showing up for within the world, and all of those things where it like requires energy from you, and that balance between those two. like the extreme productivity, and then the stuff that's going on in personal life and home. So it can be like work life, personal life, obligations, duties, responsibilities that you have maybe financially, and then maybe like emotionally, personally, maybe to family. So it's stuff like that there's that balance between those things. And it does feel like a lot of new chapters that are opening now. Feels like something is functioning now, something is working now, recognizing what the extremes are, what they have been, feeling like you have made something manageable now in a way where it could have felt very unmanageable before. I really do get the feeling of something becoming very extreme, and then there being this taking a step back, and within that, all of these realizations coming to light that feel important. It feels like not being caught up somewhere where you don't want to be anymore. Kind of like, it could have felt before like you were on a roller coaster and it just like wasn't stopping, and so it went around and around and around and around, and now this feels like the actual like getting off of it and then not feeling so dizzy anymore and feeling like you can really see things clearly. And that making a lot of sense. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.